Yeah.
I'm glad you're here, Henry.
What's happening, sir?
Uncle Sir Hanush sent for me. No doubt he wants to give me another ear-bashing about the error of my ways. And he said to bring you too.
Oh, Sakra. That doesn't sound good.
Indeed. I wonder what he wants to lecture me about this time. And you, because you're going with me.
All right. We should get going then, shouldn't we, Sir Hans? The sooner we get it over and done with, the better.
I suppose so. Right away. I put some of my old clothes in a trunk for you. I don't want you making me look bad in front of Hanush. So go and get dressed up before we head off.
Thanks, Sir Hans. I'll go and get changed now.
God be with you, Henry.
So, should we go then?
Let's go. And by the way, I'm glad you got dressed up properly. Clothes make the man, and in your case, it's quite a transformation. Come along then.
Well, my ward and his, what shall we say, chaperone.
Uncle.
My lord?
I hope we haven't dragged you away from anything too important.
Not at all, Uncle. We
like
were just...
boozing and whoring, for instance.
Uncle, I can...
Perhaps you were busy, causing mayhem in the middle of the night and beating up my subjects.
No, it wasn't... Henry and I were just...
Henry's as big a fool as you are. But he's not my ward, thank Christ. What the hell do the pair of you think you're doing? There are people in this fiefdom who work from dawn to dusk to put food on their tables, and on yours, may I remind you. And then they look at you, Hans, their lord and master, and see a drunken layabout. That fellow you beat up last night was a guard, a new guard on the town watch. And he couldn't report for duty this morning because of his injuries. I had the bailiff here complaining, and could I tell him what I really think about this whole sorry affair? Of course not. That would demean me. And you too. So I had to sit gaping like a stuffed owl and listen to his grievances. Maybe you think because you're the Lord here you can get away with anything. But you're sadly mistaken, you blockhead. A lord remains a lord only as long as he commands the loyalty of his subjects. And I'm sure I don't have to tell you the folk here are not exactly enchanted at the prospect of having you in charge. That was the last straw, Capon. One more of your escapades and I'll send you to your mother in Polnar. For all I care, she can dress you up like a wench and marry you off to some Hungarian.
Uncle, that arson Archibald tried to murder me. What was I to do?
Oh, don't exaggerate. Well, I'm hardly surprised after you molested his girl and humiliated him.
I was only...
Oh, don't whine, for heaven's
sorry.
sake. It's about time you started taking some responsibility. I have a job for you. Maybe that will keep you out of mischief. Sir Milota of Oleshna has turned up here. Do you know him?
Isn't he Sir Bernard's cousin?
He is. He came here with the remnants of his retinue to seek refuge. He's seriously wounded.
What happened to him, sir?
His fortress Oleshna was attacked by one Wulfrin of Camburg. Milota pursued him almost as far as Neuhof and engaged with him. Unfortunately, the skirmish didn't end well for Milota.
Wulflin of Camburg. That name is familiar.
He's kin to the Oleshna lords, too. A cousin of Bernard's and Milota's. Their family affairs are a little complicated. None of my business, of course. I just wish they'd found somewhere else to thrash out their differences.
What do you want us to do, sir?
Go and see Bernard in the courtyard. He got a report that Wulflin pillaged some other farms around Neuhof, and he's putting a squad together to ride against him. Mind your step, though. It's a family affair, after all. Maybe more to it than meets the eye. The important thing is to get that damn scavenger out of the domain. If possible, without bloodshed. I can't afford to lose any men over this business. Have I made myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Very well, Uncle.
Get to work, then.
Not that I'm too keen on going anywhere. Better not let the captain hear you say that. He'll swing you from the battle.
Henry, I'm glad you came.
Sir Hanish sent me, Captain. I'm to join your mission. And Sir Hans, too.
Then mount up, youngster, and we'll move out. Lord Capon, when we get there, I'd like you to hold back.
You can forget about that, Bernard. I'm not going on an outing. Hanish sent me to handle this matter, and handle it I will. Listen, Bernard. About this robber. I heard some rumours.
About his being a relative of mine in Melodas?
Something like that.
We have the same great-grandfather, Urban, Baron of Oleshna. Wolfen belongs to a distant branch of my family, which, well, let's just say they bring no honor to our name.
But I heard Wolfen of Camberg was hanged somewhere in Silesia after plundering the bishop's estates.
I heard the same, only, well, I'm sure you've heard what they say about the Camberg branch of my family.
That they're cursed. Now, Bernard, don't you think I'm a little old for fairy tales?
Think what you like, but I heard it from my grandfather, and he never paid attention to old wives' tales.
I meant no offence, Captain. Well, tell me all about it, then. After all, there's no smoke without fire, and I never heard about the Camberg clan from a member of the family.
Very well. At home, we always spoke in whispers about our Camberg relatives. When Wolfen's father, Wilhelm, came to visit, I'm almost ashamed to say it.
You can rely on my discretion, Captain. Carry on.
Well, the servants were so afraid of him that they went and hid in the barn. Father had them whipped. Even then, they wouldn't go near Wilhelm. They were afraid he'd curse them. I couldn't blame them.
Why's that?
Wilhelm's face was so badly disfigured, folk would cross themselves when they saw him. I was afraid of him myself as a boy.
Was he wounded in war?
No, he was born that way. You see, his mother, Countess Barbara of Hogwitz, didn't want to marry Wilhelm's father, my grandfather's brother. She never wanted to bear his children. So, she fell pregnant. They say she went to a witch to get rid of the child. Only she ended up having quintuplets. Can you imagine it? 5 babes born in one night?
Jesus Christ!
That's not all. 4 of them didn't live till dawn. Only the 5th survived. And he was disfigured. Wilhelm. They say the witch cheated her, and instead of getting rid of the child, she put the devil's seed inside her.
Good Lord, how dreadful!
Well, Wilhelm carried that with him his whole life. When his own wife was in childbed, he had 7 friars kneeling in her chamber day and night. It didn't stop the rumors, though. When his son, Wolfen, was born, he looked normal enough, but he turned out to be as wild as a stray tomcat.
It seems he hasn't grown out of it.
You're right about that. A few years ago, Wolfen went off to Poland, and Wilhelm got worse and worse. He cursed everything and everyone in his path, started throwing crockery at the servants. He was on his deathbed. He sent for a priest, not just to give him the last rites, but because they were afraid the devil would come out of him and possess someone else. Then later, Wolfen turned up, even though he was supposed to be dead for years. Folk said, "Whoa!
Sweet
Go down."
Jesus. It sounds a lot more convincing coming from you than the
Midas and
stories my
Sarah.
nurses used to tell me.
I sent them to
How
scout
are we
ahead.
supposed to deal
Those
with a monster
bastards
like
will
that?
pay for this.
They most certainly will. Let's go. We have to make camp. Hamlin, we'll take 2 men and come back here later. I won't have Vitus and Cyril left as crow meat.
Yes, Captain.
Good health to you.
What do we do now?
First, we have to find out where those Horsens are holed up. According to the reports, they raided a few farms around here. So someone should go to those places and find out what they can. You should do it, Henry. My men would probably just startle them.
Isn't it dangerous?
About as dangerous as sitting here in the camp.
Yeah, I suppose you're right, sir. Where are the farms they raided?
One is uphill from Neuhof, right by the woods. One here above the woods by the crossroads, directly north from our camp.
Tell me, Captain, how come this Wolflin is attacking his own kin?
They say blood's thicker than water, but sometimes I wonder. Look at our king and Sigismund.
So what's the cause of your conflict with Wolflin?
Nothing in particular, just that he's a ruffian, a treacherous bastard, and a bandit. No wonder the whole Camber clan is cursed.
How are you related?
Miloda, Wolfin, and I have the same great-grandfather, Urban, Baron of Oleshna.
How do you mean cursed?
Like I said, Wolfin's grandfather married Countess Barbara of Hogwitz. She didn't want to bear his child and went to a witch to get rid of it. Only instead of getting rid of the unborn child, she ended up having 5.
What, all at the same time?
All in one night. But only one of them lived till morning. The youngest, Wilhelm. And his face was disfigured. They say the witch deceived the Countess, and it was Satan himself who impregnated her.
And you believe that story?
Depends how you look at it. Wilhelm wasn't a bad man while he was in his right mind, but he was terrifying to look at. I still get shivers down my spine when I think of him. As for Wolfen, word came that he died in Silesia. Then, one day, he appeared from nowhere. There are folk who say death has no power over him. God be with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you looking for something? God watch over you, good night, especially in these dark times. Can I do something for you?
Captain Bernard sent me to find out about the raid. What exactly happened?
Those filthy cutthroats beat my husband black and blue, then stole all our food stores and vanished, the poxy bastards. Poor Lumir, he didn't want to let them get away with it, so he chased them as far as the woods. But they cut him down, and now I'm afraid he'll not live to see the light of day.
Did you see which way they went?
Along the track here, straight into the woods. My old man gave chase and fought with them by the old hunter's shelter. He slashed one of them with his sickle. He bled like a stuck pig, the bastard.
You think he might have been bleeding enough to leave a trail?
Maybe. Who knows? I just hope he's in hell where he belongs, the poxy bastard.
What were they like?
Swine and lousy curs, that's what they were like.
That's not what I meant.
No, sorry. They weren't your ordinary footpads. They were well dressed, and they talked of some lord called Wolflin.
I thought as much. Is there something I can do to help? With your husband, I mean.
I fear only God Almighty can help him now. Although, there is one thing you could do. I have to keep changing Lumir's bandages, but I'm running out of clean linen, and I don't want to leave him alone here.
I'll see what I've got.
God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. I'm grateful. I'll go and bandage him up right away, and let me give you a few groschen for your trouble. I've nothing left here except a few groschen I buried down by the creek. Luckily, those bastards never found them. I'll be glad to reward you.
Keep it. You need it more than I. They took everything you had.
Not everything, because you saved my dear husband. Take it. I insist.
Very well, then. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Why do you ask? Can I not take a walk in the woods without being accosted?
I ask because I'm the gamekeeper here, and it's my job to protect these woods from poachers.
Well, I'm certainly not poaching.
In that case, you won't mind if I have a look what you've got on you.
Certainly. Go ahead and look.
All right. Nothing suspicious here. You may leave, Goodman.
This is the way. That looks like blood.
Stay away from people if you can't.
Yeah.
God save you. What can I do for you?
Captain Bernard sent me. I'm here about the raid on your farm.
What? I've no idea what you're talking about, friend.
They raided your farm, didn't they?
No. I heard there was some raids hereabouts, but not here.
Something's not right. The captain sent me here to this very farm.
The captain must have made a mistake.
I suppose so.
Goodbye.
God preserve you, good knight. Can I do something for you?
Captain Bernard sent me. It's about that attack.
Well, they came, took everything they could, and rode off again. I don't know what else I can tell you.
We're trying to catch up with that gang, so I need to hear every detail you can tell me.
What do you want to know?
How many of them were there?
2 or 3. I'm not sure. My head's still in a spin.
Which way did they go?
I don't know. I wasn't watching. My husband made me hide indoors, and I only saw them through the window.
So your husband was outside?
Yes, he tried to parley with them.
What did they take?
Not much. We haven't a pot to piss in, which I told them in no uncertain terms as soon as they came here.
So you're telling me they came here, you told them there was nothing worth taking, and they just rode off again, without further ado?
More or less.
But just a while ago, you told me you were indoors the whole time.
Yes, I was. Mostly.
So were you inside or outside? Did you talk to them or not?
Well, like I say, it was confusing. I don't remember much.
Look here, I'm not sure what happened here, but I can't shake the feeling you're holding something back.
No, it's just... It all happened so quickly. I'm still bewildered from it all.
I'm the one who's bewildered. Let me make one thing clear. Those bandits are led by Sir Wulflin, Baron of Camberg, and he's not just some common outlaw. If we don't catch him, there'll be hell to pay. So you better speak up, no matter what happened here.
Lord Jesus, why must we be persecuted so?
So, what really happened here?
First, promise me you'll get rid of them.
That's exactly what I'm here for.
They came a few days ago, took a pig and a sack of apples. We put up no resistance. I noticed one of them had an injured leg, so I offered to treat it for him.
Why would you help those cutthroats?
They didn't behave violently towards us, and I thought it would be best to keep them happy. At least they left me some apples.
Go on. What happened then?
They rode off, and I prayed we'd seen the last of them. Only the same evening, they came back again. One of them had been wounded, and they wanted me to take a look at him. They gave me some coin and took me to their camp. And in the morning I came home again.
I understand. They threatened you.
They didn't exactly threaten me. They didn't have to. But if they get away from you, they'll come back and get revenge.
Don't worry. We'll take care of them. I'll be going.
Good luck, then.
Are you pulling my pizzle?
What? What are you talking about?
Your wife just told me the bandits were here. What the hell is going on?
I don't know. Or maybe they were here while I was away.
What are you on about? Are you trying to tell me bandits attacked your farm and your wife didn't think to mention it to you?
She can be quite forgetful sometimes.
Enough! What happened here?
All right. They were here. But please understand, we don't want to get into trouble.
Why would you get into trouble?
My wife was at their camp, taking care of a wounded man.
So they threatened you?
They didn't have to. If someone finds them there, they'll soon put 2 and 2 together.
So your wife knows where they're camped?
Unfortunately, yes.
No, it's fortunate she does. We've got a good chance of catching them unawares.
God be with you.
He was bleeding plenty. Should be easy to track him. He was bleeding plenty. Should be easy to track him. Looks like this is the right way. That looks like blood. He was bleeding plenty. Should be easy to track him. Another trace. They dragged him this way. This is the way. Looks like this is the right way. More blood. Must be close. He was bleeding plenty. Should be easy to track him. Looks like I found it. I'd better get back and report to Captain Bernard.
What's that? Yeah! Good day.
I found that encampment.
Ah, I'm glad to hear it. Is it far?
Not really.
How many men did you see?
About 15.
Shit. That won't be easy. Oh well, nothing to be done. Wulfen of Camberg must hang from the ramparts in Rattay.
Wouldn't it be better to parley with them, sir?
Parley with robbers? You must be out of your mind, lad.
I gave Sir Hanush my word I'd look out for his men, and I intend to keep it. So it's my duty to advise a parley.
You're going to advise me?
You're not seeing straight, Captain. No wonder, since Wulflin's your kin. Please, just grant me one thing. Let me go and parley. I'll find out more, and maybe we can settle everything without losing any men.
You want to parley? Listen, Henry, you can't rely on Wulflin to act honorably. There's every chance you won't come back.
Don't worry. I know it's a risky business, but have you got anyone better for the job?
No, I'm sorry to say I haven't. And Wulflin's a conceited bastard. If he knows you come from me, he'll receive you just for a chance to tell me to go to hell. I'll give you a livery with my coat of arms, so it's clear you're my messenger. And you'll have to go unarmed.
Thank you, Captain. I'll do my best.
I hope so. And try and come back in one piece. I don't want to explain to Sir Radzig why I sent his favorite into a robber baron's camp unarmed. Goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you! What do you want?
I'm Captain Bernard's envoy. I'm here to parley.
Why should I trust you?
I'm unarmed. What harm can I do?
That's true. You are wearing Sir Bernard's colours. I suppose I should take you to Sir Wulflin. But if you try any tricks, you'll regret it. Understood?
You have my word.
I've got a piss.
Can't drink no more today.
Who do we have here? What's your name, boy?
Henry. I'm a messenger from...
I know. From my beloved cousin, Sir Bernard of Oleshna. So, What exactly is your message?
Why do you want to hurt the lords of Aleshna?
That bastard Malota stole villages that belonged to my father. I was in Poland when my father died, and Malota convinced everyone I was dead too.
But you came back though, didn't you?
Aye, I came back. But Malota bribed a priest to testify that my father made him a deathbed confession. That bastard swore my father told him he was possessed, and so was his son, me. So they think I rose from the dead and I'm a warlock. They won't hear my claim.
That's unfortunate. But surely the courts of the king wouldn't believe a story like that.
Maybe not, but the king's in captivity, and none of the nobles have time for courts. No one will hear my case, and by the time this turmoil is over, everyone will have forgotten about me.
Just want to eat and sleep and fuck. Camp life sure ain't easy. Fuck.
We offer you safe conduct out of this domain if you leave everything you stole from Zahanish's subjects.
That's a very generous offer. But tell me, why should I accept?
Camp life sure ain't easy.
Don't you know what's been going on around here recently?
Should I?
Bandits have been on the rampage all over the county. Cutthroats raided a nearby stud farm, and the locals have had enough of it.
No doubt, but I've nothing to do with that.
Try telling them that. On the way here, the captain recruited men from half the county. He intends to make an example of you.
Why me? No doubt you've plenty to choose from.
Because you're the first one who's had the gall not to run. So you'll be the first one they catch, and I'm sure you can imagine what will happen then.
And why warn me? Why parley at all, if there are so many of you?
So Hanush wants to avoid unnecessary bloodshed. He'd be happier if you just moved on somewhere else, so he sent me to bargain with you.
You're saying it wasn't Bernard's idea?
If the captain knew I came here in his colours, he'd flay me alive.
The devil take it. There's nothing here worth pillaging anyway. All right. I accept your offer. Tell your captain we'll move on.
And you'll leave the loot here?
We'll leave what's left. The food's already eaten. Better run along before Bernard loses patience.
I've just come back from Wolflin, Captain.
And in one piece, I see. That's something at least, but I doubt you achieved anything.
I talked them into moving out. They even left the loot they plundered.
I don't know about letting them go like that. They'll be hungry. All you've truly done is send them on to rob our neighbors.
I don't think that will trouble Sir Hanush too much.
Maybe not, but it troubles me. They slayed 2 of my men and crippled my cousin.
I'm sorry about that, but I doubt your paths have crossed for the last time. It's just that this isn't the time for settling family quarrels.
True enough. Anyway, I'll warn the neighboring lords that those bandits are on the loose. Ride to Ratai and report to Sir Hanush.
Yes, sir.
Take care. Yeah.
The Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
I have news from the camp, Sir Hanush.
Speak.
I persuaded Captain Bernard to let me parley with Wulflin.
Bernard agreed. I'm surprised.
So was I. I promised Wulflin safe conduct out of your territory on condition he leave all the loot behind.
Well, at least we cut our losses. Although Bernard will have a thing or two to say about how I lost face for a few groschen.
But at least you lost no men, sir, and that's worth something.
True enough, lad. No doubt Wulflin will come to a bad end anyway. I must say, Henry, after all that's happened recently, I'm glad something finally turned out well.
So am I, sir.
And I think you deserve to be rewarded for your efforts.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.